All right, everybody, welcome back to the Damn Podcast. I am Matt Bamonte. I'm joined by my two best friends in the whole wide world, David and Austin. We're reunited again, guys. It's been a little bit since we've been all together, so I'm happy to have you guys back for sure. We're in our bye week here. It's kind of like a mid-season break, I'd say. This one's like unforced. It's kind of like an unforced break, so we're gonna let it go as we get into holiday here. And so Portugal, we'll talk about a little bit here. I'm going to start it off. So the driver finishes from Portugal. The big standout for me, guys, truly was sorry, I'm losing my mind. So Barrett's performance, yeah. So the Barrett's performance, especially in the rain, was pretty amazing. And I think I mentioned it to a few people to be so he got second in the race due to a 3-second penalty. And to be within 3 seconds at the end of races is crazy to me. That we're that tight. Real F1 races usually Max Verstappen's ahead by, I don't know, 30 seconds or so to end the race. So for us to be within those tight windows after 30 laps is pretty impressive to me.
Yeah, especially in the rain. I mean, it's hard to stay on top of each other. I'll tell you, dude, Barrett took a pretty crappy time or grid penalty because of qualifying. It was something that we kind of talked about it already. It wasn't really his fault. And he started back, I think, 11th. And I really struggled in the rain. And I remember when he passed me, I was just like, that dude's on another planet right now. Like he is absolutely going to finish up at the top. And it was interesting for me because I was unlike you guys, I was still racing at the end of the race. And so it popped up that Barrett had won the race. And I told Hayden, I was like, oh, dude, Barrett just got his first win. Like, that's sick. Like, that's so cool. And then I saw they took second. I literally was worried that we had a mistake, but then that makes sense about the penalty. And it stinks, but also a great finish for him, obviously.
Yeah, pretty cool. I know. I kind of was like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's gonna rain. I can't wait till it rains. It's gonna be so much fun." They said, and then the rain happened. Everyone's like, "Please never have a rain race ever again. This was not fun." Some of that's part of the symptom of the track. That track's really hard in general, and then once you add an extra element of the rain, it gets even more difficult, as you might imagine.
It was kind of cool because we got to see it separated out. You could tell who was prepared, who plays. Like it was like the iRacing guys and the guys that are always in the seat. Like those are the guys that thrive in that situation because it's like they're ready for anything and they can adjust the skills. Where it's like a guy like me, where I've been having some success, it's like, well, it's just because I'm repeating on dry over and over again, and it's more muscle memory and stuff like that. And I'm relying more on that. And you can tell in races like this.
Yeah, no doubt. So, Real, I'm not going to leave you out on an island here. I know you and I talked just briefly about this, how you and I are cursed in some way, shape, or form. So you're cursed in, you said it's like the first 4 races, is that right?
Yeah, it seems like just that beginning stretch of the season. I always say it's kind of the first half. It just, things don't seem to go my way, or at least how I anticipated to go. And so obviously going into the race, I kind of had to jump into it last minute and run a qualifier and had somebody in my way on the hot lap. And then so I ended up getting kind of pushed down back. Now I don't get to run again. When I try to run one more lap, my game crashes and kicks me out. So then I try to get back in real fast, but nothing was working. So at the same time, if I'm going to miss a race, I'm glad it was that one. I obviously didn't get to run, but I did get to catch the ending to watch David defend my teammate at the end, which was pretty cool. But I'm glad I missed, honestly.
Yeah, me and you were having some fun in the chats during the end of the race, which was cool. So I want to tell you something. It's not meant to hurt your feelings because I love you, obviously. You're my #forever teammate. So you have 6 points right now in the first 4 races. How many points do you think, without looking, how many points do you think you had the last 2 seasons? So on Ferrari and on Los Toros Formula One team, how many points do you think you had in the first 4 races of both of those seasons combined?
I know Los Toros. I don't know if it was the 4th race when I finally grabbed points, but I know I missed points from DNFs and stuff like that early on. I'm gonna go with that. You may give you a combined total. Is that what you said?
Combined total for the season. Yeah, the 2 seasons.
I'm gonna say like 14 maybe.
Ooh, so close. So you were right, actually. It's good memory. So on Los Toros, you had 0 points the first 3 races, and then you snuck a 10 ball in there. So that was
Okay,
10.
yeah.
And then the
Thought maybe
last
8.
season,
Then.
I was close. And then the last season, you scored 1 point in the second race, and you scored no points in the other 3. So you had 11 points total in the first 8 races of last 2 seasons. It's
I have
pretty
to look.
crazy, dude. That's definitely a curse.
It's. I did. I technically I didn't race in those, I guess, but the first 4 races I missed 3 of those 4 last season, but
Yeah.
still the next 2 I didn't score points after that.
Right.
So I mean, it wasn't until Monza when
The
we
good
ran
news,
SC
yeah.
hard.
Won. Yeah.
Exactly. The
Came
good
out
news is you
swinging.
got Monza. So it might happen
That saved
again
my
here in
season.
Zandvoort.
That's the plan.
Very cool. Very cool.
Everything's
Yeah.
falling into place.
That's right. It just got you right where you want it. So you're down
That's
100
right.
points. You got you right where you want it. That's pretty good. Very cool, man. All right. Well, yeah. Enough of that ancient history, because I'm sure people will get mad that we're talking about historical stuff. But anyways, at any rate, so I'll go through the over unders, and it's been a few days, so I might need a little memory jog from my friends here. So safety cars, did we have a single one?
No, I don't think so.
So we didn't, right? And the over
No.
under was 1.5. So we had 0, which is crazy. Will Pete top 5 on his birthday?
He took 5th, I believe.
He did take 5th, and he
Love that.
actually
That's why I
edged me
let him
out.
have. Yeah, I let
Yeah,
him have
you let him have
5th.
it.
Yep.
He edged me out in quali, which was insane. I was talking to Rio. My qualies have been really fun. My last laps have really I felt like I've been like all out on the last lap. And I feel like the Max Verstappen lap where he hits the wall, and was it Jeddah where he hits the wall? Like, I feel like my last lap of quali is always that. I have like a
Dude.
banker, and I'm like, fuck it, dude. Whatever happens, I'm just gonna run it as hard as I can. And I finished just outside of first for pole position here.
Qualifying
have
has been
rain.
crazy. Really quick
Yeah.
with short qualifying. Dude, it's been wild. Like, I think in my practice races for qualifying, I was like getting down close to 117 flat, and I was like, if I can get a 117 flat, that's pole. It has to be. Pete takes pole. It is 116.806, 116.879 behind him, and then my 116.889. I mean, it's like you have to get to
Fucking
4th
flying.
place to get your first, and then 4th and 5th both 117.1. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, you got to be really hauling ass to take a pole position in these races, and I feel you, man. I'm like, man, I'm actually kind of cooking along here. Then you look up, and it's like, oh my god, I gotta make up 3/10 or
So
whatever
is
it is.
everyone else, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, I guess I'm in the middle. Yeah, I really like short quality, and I think that's kind of the general consensus.
Yeah.
All right, so moving along here, will we have rain in qualifying or the race? We sure did. We actually had a 10% in quality too. I was kind of hoping
Yep.
that I would get a banker lap in, and I think I was like 3rd or something like that to start. I was hoping that it would start fucking pouring down rain right away. That would have been kind of cool. So there's that. Who will score more points tonight, Williams or Ferrari? And that was Williams. I believe Richard did the heavy lifting there. So
Yep. Thank
he
you,
ran
Richard.
he ran a really good race, man. We watched a bunch of that. So
It was a good battle at the end, yeah.
yeah. Total number of DNFs 1.5. We exceeded that in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Does Red Bull or AlphaTauri get their first points of the season? And guess what, guys? Guess what? Guess who scored points?
Not those guys.
Not those guys. That
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
correct answer. I will
I
accept
think
that answer.
Passy took 11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was close.
No, that was qualifying. My bad.
I
I'm
will
looking at
accept
qualifying.
that answer. Not those guys. Well, I
Oh,
will
he did
accept that
take
answer.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he did.
Yeah.
How many teams scored double points? So David used my template, obviously, and I need to adjust the template. So 1.5 is not really realistic. I think I said it like 3.5 is kind of where we're at. I'm gonna have to look and see historical numbers.
We had 4. So interesting. So we had 4 this week, and that was because typically we have about 3. But Paulie got his point in 10th. That was awesome. I thought that was really cool to see Paulie snag 10th.
Yeah.
So he got his point, and that gave us 2 Alpines, and so that was we had 4.
Yeah, so 4. So I probably set it at 3.5 going forward.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a decent line. So if you got any thoughts or feelings, feel free to let me know. Who finishes higher Keaton or Painter. So good, excuse me,
Yeah.
good battle there. Keaton had a crazy race, which he'll tell you about. But he finished exactly one spot higher than Painter, and he battled back from some adversity. So good on Keaton there. And then who finishes higher, Doug or Sweet William? And Doug finished in
Attaboy, Doug.
8th? Yeah, Doug finished in 8th. So congrats to Aston Martin for 16 points on the week. So that's that. That is the that does it for over unders and the results. Again, guys, it's really cool, man. We had like 16 or 17 people participate in these things, which is basically the entire grid. So I really appreciate that. And I know, thanks. Special shout out to David and Real. I had a insane hellish week this far at work. So far this week, and those guys took over and did it. So shout out to them for keeping that fresh for us. All right, cool. All right, man. Let's do something a little different here. So I was just going through the spreadsheet to give Real some shit, but also to talk a little bit about the history. So Real sounds like he's prepared some historical stats and maybe a few little trivia questions for David and I this week.
Yeah, I mean, these questions probably aren't going to be the hardest or anything. But I was looking at just some of the old archive stuff and came across some interesting things. The first one is there's a driver that secured, this is an easy answer, but he secured 14 race wins from season 1 through season 3. 8 of those came from season 3 alone. Do we know who this driver is?
That's gotta be Keaton.
Yeah, it's gotta be Keaton, right?
That's the correct answer. Well, since then, Keaton has not been in the winner's circle. It's been 17 straight races since he's at last one.
Oh, dry spell.
It is, and it blew my mind to see that he has not won in that long. So, the question
Checo. He's a Checo.
Does he break that streak and get back in the winner's circle this season?
Ooh, that's a good one, actually. I like that. David, I'll let you fire away, man.
The problem is that I think Spies and Keaton are going to have quite a few where they're 1 and 2, and I mean, like Keaton's made it very clear that they're there to win the constructors. Like he does not care if Spies wins the drivers. I think that they're both just very fast, and Spies can lose a wing here or there. Like something can happen, and that leaves Keaton in that next spot. So I think he'll get a win before this season's over. Yes.
Man, that's tough. Dude, Keaton's playing a lot of Destiny, brother. That's all I'm going to say.
It is his destiny right
That's all I'm going to say. He's playing a lot of Destiny. So I'm going to say no. I'll be the other side of the fence. And it's not just to be like the Matthew Painter, just to be on the opposite side of the argument. I think that Spies has a lot of pride and stuff like that. Is not just going to hand over first place by any stretch. And then I think David and Painter are going to, keep pushing, and even like Pete to another extent, where those guys can win races too. Even like maybe me, Real, Richard. Like there's a lot of people. Tyler, I don't even talk about Tyler, and Tyler's
Tyler could
driver,
win. Tyler could win 4 or 5 races still this season.
He could win every fucking race. He could. Yeah, he really could. Like it just he's had some bad luck, and the rain
just buy a
obviously
wheel,
didn't help
dude.
him.
Grow up.
Yeah,
just buy a wheel.
Buy that thing we posted in the chat where you can
motion sickness on a controller still. Jeez Louise.
But yeah, so I'm gonna say no. I know it's a long-winded response. I'm gonna say no. No, Keaton won't win one.
I'm gonna agree with Matt on this one, and it's not because obviously we know Keaton is capable of doing it, but I agree with both of your answers in the fact that he's okay with just winning the constructors and not so much the drivers. And so I think his strategy is mostly going to be geared towards surviving and scoring as many points as he can. So I feel like if he wins a race, it's going to be because things just kind of fell that way for him. But
yeah,
we're not racing Monaco. I don't think so. I don't think he's going to win.
Okay.
For the next question, which you guys kind of just served it up to me, but there's only been one driver in our league history that has won at least one race in each of the first 4 seasons. Do you know who that is?
Ooh, I'm gonna say Tyler.
It might be Tyler. That's a good answer. I was gonna say Spies, but Spies wasn't in the first season, right? Or was he?
He
took a season off though.
He took a season off. We had a season without him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead.
Yeah, it was Tyler.
Nice.
So yeah, he's the only driver that's won in every single season, but he's winless
really
obviously so far. So,
everybody hit
do
Tyler.
do we think he's gonna pick up a win to continue the streak?
I definitely think so.
I think now we got to wreck him out. I mean, there's no way you can let this guy. You're gonna let him win again this season.
Someone's got to end the streak.
I think he's gonna do it. Yeah, Tyler's one of those guys that strikes me as like he wants to win a race, obviously, and he's gonna practice his ass off for somewhere. And Tyler's pretty quick at the remaining tracks anyway, so I'm gonna say he'll win.
It feels like he's just like chilling and like taking what he can get and like no big deal. And you wonder if like at some point he's gonna be like, okay, I can't finish 6th or 7th or whatever, and he's gonna like put the pedal down a little bit more because we know that he can do it. Who knows? Maybe this will be what kind of wakes him up a little bit, and he's like, I can't lose that streak, because I really think that's a very cool stat to be the only guy to have a win in every season. It's very cool.
Yeah, good stat.
Yeah, we have some good tracks coming up that I'm pretty positive. Him and I were teammates last time we ran France, or maybe we ran it another season. But I remember running France with him. I liked that track a lot, and he did too. So there's tracks coming up that he's good at, and I think if he wants to win and he puts in the time, I think he's going to. Which leads into the final question and stat. There's only been one driver that has won back-to-back races since the start of season 4. Who do you think that is?
I want to say Spees, but I don't know if that's too.
Is it Keaton? It's one of those.
So it's back-to-back since season 4, so it's only last year and this year. So it has. Is it Painter?
No, it's not. I don't think Painter. I don't think it's one back-to-back.
I think it's Painter or Spees, right? So
this fucking Discord would incinerate if Painter won back-to-back races. No. Dude, he'd never let us see at the end of it. There's no way it's him.
All right. Well, I'll tell you the answer since we're gonna go. It is Tyler.
Oh wow!
Tyler won in season 4. Speeds won a bunch last season, but he never won back-to-back. And Tyler won Singapore and Japan back-to-back. And the reason why I started with season 4 was because we saw the first 3 seasons people win consecutively. For example, Keaton won the final 4 races, I believe, at the end of season 3.
Wait, Spees didn't win back-to-back last year at all?
No.
He has his tracks where he was faster and practiced more, but like Spees definitely has tracks that he shows up on Wednesdays and just races, and it's like he is truly like 4th or 5th in pace compared to like Francois and some of those guys.
It definitely surprised me that the fact that he didn't. I thought that it was going to be him when I was thinking about the stat line and all that, but
Tyler literally tied him last year, and we were too dumb to think that that's who it was.
Yeah, true.
That kind of reminded me of I just saw a video of some other league on YouTube that they ran like a 5-lapper between the two for the championship. And I was like, man, that would have been, if we would have all loaded up for that, for Speed and Tyler, how much fun that would have been.
20 spectators just watching.
It would have been awesome. But do you guys think someone will go back-to-back this season?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think anybody's gonna go back-to-back because I think the grid's just too tough. I don't. I don't know. I could go either way, but I don't think so.
I think somebody does, and I think Spees does.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say if anyone does it, I was gonna go with Spees, and he's got a chance to do it now. So, but that wraps it up for me and the historical stats that I pulled. But yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, that was awesome, dude. Thanks for sharing those. I know I find that stuff super compelling. I know I find myself opening up the spreadsheet like just randomly sometimes, be like, what happened here? What's the time here? You know, all kinds of weird shit like that. Like I'll do that a lot. Like as we lead up into the week, like for instance, like Zandvoort, right? I'm gonna go look and see every time we ran it. Like Matthew Painter won the last time. I know that off the top of my head because I looked at it like 2 days ago. So he won the last time we were in Zandvoort. So I know it's super cool just to be able to look at stats like that. So thanks again for compiling those and also for jogging our memory on some of those questions. It's good to have the history. So
it's almost like it's cool because with a lot of those things, you don't really notice them when they're happening. When you're in the middle of the season, you're just focused on your races, and it's almost like what we love about Drive to Survive is you get to see that kind of the story that was being told throughout the season that maybe you didn't realize. And that's kind of what I think of there. Like hearing those stats about Tyler and stuff like that. It's like, we don't think about those when we're in them, but it's like this guy's like a legacy driver in our league. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's like part of what happened last year, right? Is we got to like the halfway point, and I'm like, God damn, like Spies is running away with the championship, right?
Yep.
And then as we keep going, like Tyler wins back-to-back races, and then the last three he gets the silver medal in the last 3 races to put a lot of pressure on Spies, and Spies had some poopers towards the end. And but again, you just don't think about it like until we relook at the stats and see how crazy it actually was.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure, like, he literally, that championship came down to Spies getting the fastest lap at that last race.
It did. It
'Cause, yeah,
absolutely
'cause
did.
Like
tied it.
had he not done that, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
That was that
cool.
close.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Absolutely did. All right, cool guys. So thanks again for those. So we're gonna jump to some other parts here. So we're gonna recap the drivers' standings and the team standings, and we won't like read down them, but let's talk about some of the overperformers and underperformers up until now. So we're kind of like where are we at? Like a third of the way through the season at this point, right?
Yeah, it's
about
kind
a
of weird. Like, yeah, we're
with the
doing what
sprints.
we've done. We've done like 4 races, right? And
Yeah.
it's kind of a weird time to take a break, but as you said, it's kind of a naturally occurring break, if you will. So we just figured it'd be a good time to take this episode to kind of look back and look forward and kind of use it as our bye week, so to speak.
Cool. So let's talk about the overperformers first. And I mean, I can start us off real quick. So I'm gonna pick the biggest overperforming team is definitely Haas. You guys have
Do you want to do one driver and one team for each of these? That might be a
sure.
good
So
one.
one overperforming driver and team, sure.
Yeah.
So I will choose you for both on mine. So and again, I know you're fast. We're probably like somewhere on the same pace.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know from firsthand experience it's tough to maintain that pace throughout an entire race, especially when you're driving around guys who you know are faster. And again, your team is in second place at this point, and I don't think anybody thought that was going to be the case. Whether it sounds bad or otherwise, I don't think anybody thought Haas would be in second place 4 races into the season. There's no way. And if you say you did, you're a liar. So that's that. That's my spiel.
Love it. Do you want to do your underperformers now, or you want to all do overs?
Yeah,
and
let's
then
do that.
teams
Yeah, let's
back?
do that. So I'll finish mine up too, and you guys can have a little more time to think. I'm
Cool.
certainly going to pick McLaren as the underperformer for me. I believe that I'm going to eat a bunch of crow, and I think I picked them to win the constructors championship, if I remember
They are
correctly.
moving. They are moving up. They have been
Yeah,
moving.
well, they
up
couldn't move fucking
paces.
down, that's for sure.
Pete's gonna love that. Pete is
I'm
gonna
sure.
chuckle at that.
I'm sure he is, and I love Pete. He's got 7. He's got 33 points, and Adam has 7. Who I think I picked Adam to have like a really good season too.
Yeah.
But that dude's just loading up Destiny right now, and he's playing Destiny instead of racing. So that's kind of where we're at. McLaren, man, I know Ferrari's going to pass him. I just know it. So, anyways, that's my underperforming team and driver. And maybe it's weird that I've selected it that way. I mean, I could even pick Paulie's another one you can pick. He's got 1 point. Like,
Let's not steal ours. We still got 2 guys.
Yeah,
behind
fire
you,
away. All right, fire away.
I'll go. Okay, so for overperformer, I'll go with, and this is definitely a cheap one, and we're leaving Austin with the scraps here, but I'm gonna go with Barrett for sure. Nobody saw him coming. I mean, right now, Barrett, who is a rookie, who's brand new, not to the game, obviously. He races and he does well, but Barrett is tied with Matthew Painter right now in 4th place. So that's crazy. I mean, that's just awesome. And he's coming off a great performance. So that's a good one. And then overperforming for the team. I don't want to go with Haas, obviously, because you did. I am going to say Alfa Romeo. I mean, I know that we knew that they would be good and everything like that, but we even talked about, like, hey, like, it's not super easy to just continuously finish at the top of the grid. And like these, it's just like, you could tell Spies is like showing up on Wednesdays and racing. And then he's like, oh, I dropped out of first. Let me take it a little bit more serious. And there's a win. Like, it's just like, he is that good. And these guys are putting it together. And it's like, in sports, it's tough to, just like we talk about driving during a race, it's sometimes a lot harder to drive in first than it is in second because you have everybody on your tail. And it's like, those guys just do not, like, they are the pros of the league. Like they just do not fold. And so they're definitely overperforming even based on my expectations. They're almost double second place in points already for team. And then my underperformers, I'm going to say my underperformers, I'm going to try to go different between team and driver here. So, underperforming driver is Tyler for me. I definitely think that he should be. He's not doing bad. He's like what these guys are tied for 4th, 5th. He's like a couple points off 6th place, I think, or he's in 6th, couple points off 5th. And it's just like I think it's not that he's doing bad, but we just all know that he's faster. And I think maybe he's had a bunch of stuff happen in these first races, but it's whatever way you split it, he's underperforming a little bit right now. And then my underperforming team, this is more based off of after the first race of the season, but I really thought Williams was like, they're doing good. I'm not, they're only 1 point behind Ferrari, but currently the only 2 teams behind them have 0 points. And I really thought Williams was like going to be sitting in 3rd, 4th place in the constructors. And like, this is a team who, yes, it was way back in the day, but they took home a constructors championship. And so it's like, I really thought they'd be a little bit higher than what they were. And I think they are better drivers than what they're showing.
Cool. All right, Real, you're on deck. You're up.
Yeah, we'll be working our way up as long as we don't have more issues, but I don't disagree. Well, I don't want to give you the same answers. I would have probably given a lot of the same answers that you guys have given for these picks, so I'll try to go with different choices here still. So overperforming team, instead of going with Barrett as an overperforming driver, I'll go with Alpine as an overperforming team, specifically because Barrett and because Paul somehow managed to steal a point. So we thought zeros were going to be across the board all year for Paul. So
he says we. He is not referring to Haas. I just want to be clear.
No, we're referring to Williams. The team that Paul is not a part of and never will be. And then overperforming driver. Man, this is tough. Well, I'm going to go with. I was going to go with Will, who's going to be out of here, unfortunately, but he has got more points than me, so I think that's overperforming because I didn't expect that to be the case at this point in the season. And then for underperforming, I think Tyler's the easiest choice as far as drivers go. But I'll throw in Adam Brills as an underperforming driver, just being a guy that he could very well be outscoring his teammate and probably should be based on what we knew about him coming into the season. So to only have 7, I just feel like that's a underperformance on his part, but obviously he's capable of putting up a lot better finishes moving forward. And then for an underperforming team, yeah, it's probably going to be Aston Martin at this point because they're in 3rd. And this is a team that obviously we knew would be tough to beat Alfa Romeo, but to be behind Haas right now is a surprise to me. So I'm going to go with those guys.
Good shouts.
Too. Yeah,
good shouts. Man, you guys are fucking mean. I thought I must be on the wrong podcast. This is not the spicy one. I didn't think. But I like where we're going tonight, guys. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I like where we're going tonight. This is gonna be good. So that's that. So good stuff on those. A lot of variety in there, and you could go one of a million ways as we just showed. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Good deal. So I'm going to make this one kind of short and sweet. So predictions for the end of the season. What I want from you guys is who you think's going to win and we won't do constructors because I feel like that's I'm not even going to get into that.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the drivers championship, okay? And I want you guys to tell me who's going to get eliminated at the end of the season, okay? Which team?
Okay.
All right. So I will shoot it to Real this time since we cheated and stole all of his great ideas that he definitely had. So Real, you're back up.
Well, I think that we are going to have very, very similar options or picks on this. Let's do team that gets eliminated and give me your top 3 drivers.
Okay,
like who
top
finishes
3 works.
First. Yeah.
I'm good with that. As far as the team getting eliminated, I think it could come down to a big contingency whether or not Risco is able to show up. But I think if Risco can show up for a race, maybe two, I think AlphaTauri will be all right. So I'm going to say Red Bull gets eliminated at the end of the season, which would be a good fit for whoever wins the top seat 2 to take over. Yeah. As far as the top 3 drivers, I'm going to go with Spies to hold on and win. I think he can continue and obviously repeat as champion. We know how good he is. At number 2, I'm going to go with a big surprise, but I think Tyler Davis is going to pull out some wins and work his way all the way back up to 2.
Damn.
And then 3, I think Matt Painter jumps David and Keaton to snag 3rd. So Spies, okay. Tyler, and Painter.
Right. It looks like Aston Martin just came through with some upgrades too. Painter's installing that wheel as we speak. So big upgrades for Aston Martin.
No doubt. All right, David, you're up.
All right. So in trying to not go with the same answers, I'll start with driver. I am going to take Spies to win it. I also have a surprise for second place. I think in second place, we're actually going to have Barrett get up to second and be a very high finishing rookie. And ironically enough, that would give us our first place and second place would both be seat 2 drivers, which would be pretty crazy. And then I think it's going to be a Bromeo sandwich, and Keaton's going to take 3rd place in the drivers and jump over me. So
cool.
I got those 3. And then to do something a little bit different. I do think AlphaTauri has a better chance to get points first. One with if Rish can make a race, that's one thing. But I do also think Passy does a good job with those fastest laps. However, I will say everybody knows that's on the table now. And we have seen it's like anybody 12th and beyond is going for that fastest lap now. And it's sick. And what happens is yes, it gives a chance to slower guys to get a point. But if you have we've seen this happen a few times where like a Tyler or an Adam or somebody like that gets spun out. Now all of a sudden, like the fastest lap is getting a lot faster. And that's why we're seeing these records get broke as long as it's not raining, obviously. So there's just a lot of chances there for AlphaTauri to get it. But I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going to say Red Bull gets some points. I'm going to say Brett gets a couple decent finishes, maybe like some 6th, 7th, 8th kind of stuff. And Troy might snag a fastest lap if he goes in late and gets some softs. He could grab a point somewhere. And I actually think Red Bull overcomes AlphaTauri.
Cool. All right. Very good, guys. So I'm going to say I'll start with the team first here. So like you said, that's a great point, though. So I actually told Will at the end of our race, like, hey, you're in like 14th place. You need to get in the pits and go try and get a fastest lap. So again, like he has decent pace, right? He ran a decent qualifying lap and stuff like that. So you're going to have people whose races is kind of compromised in the beginning, like you mentioned, that are going to go get fastest lap. So it's not like, well, the teams that have 0 points are just going to go get a point somewhere randomly because no one else is going for it. Everybody's gunning for that 1 point now. So that's a great shout on that. So I don't think those in quotes charity points really exist for those teams because there ain't no charity about it. Like someone's running a fast lap that might have better pace. On that, I'm gonna say that AlphaTauri gets eliminated because I think Troy's gonna start practicing some more. We trying to light a little fire under him and get him to do some more practicing. So once Brett comes back and they're at full strength, I think they're gonna be okay. So I'm gonna say AlphaTauri is gonna get eliminated at the end there. As far as the driver standing, Spies is the easy choice to win it all. My number 2 pick, sorry, David, you're going to come back to the Earth at some point. You're going to figure out you really like Destiny a lot. And Matthew Painter just bought a wheel, which is tough to get used to. I'm not going to lie to you. But he's the kind of guy that I think is going to put the time in. So I'm going to take Painter in second. And then I'm going to take Barrett in third. That's a pretty popular choice among us, which is crazy for a rookie. No pressure, of course, but he's been really fast and really consistent. The Jeddah race didn't go his way, but other than that, he scored double-digit points on the rest of 3 races, which is crazy. He's almost on pace to score 18 points each week, which is silver, and that's super impressive, especially for a rookie.
Yeah, Barrett definitely has that I'll call it like that rookie excitement with the league. Like we talk about this all the time, but the league is obviously very involved and very immersive. And this is his first season in it, and every time I've talked to him, he's just enjoying the crap out of it. And I think it's kind of like just fires you up, and it makes you want to practice. And the races really do mean something, and guys are sweating their through their wife beaters during races pretty good. So I think that he kind of has that excitement, and I love to see him doing well. I think me practicing and kind of mixing it up where people didn't think I would. I think that kind of stuff maybe gets everybody else's attention of kind of like, hey, if these guys are doing pretty well, like if I grind a little bit harder, I can do well. And now all of a sudden we're seeing everything kind of get clogged at the top because everybody's racing hard and doing well. And I just hope that continues. I mean, I think kind of like everybody's saying here, it'll cause me to slowly slip back a little bit more and more probably, but it's just like, it makes everything so much more worth it when you do get those results.
For sure. Do you still want to go ahead with these power rankings? We're like 35 minutes in. You want to go with the power rankings still?
No. We have a lot
right.
of stuff with the Ferrari news and the F2
Yeah.
news and stuff like that. So I'm not too worried about that. I think we've stirred enough drama on here already.
I'm with you. That's why I asked. All right, so we're gonna get towards the back end of the show here, guys. So you might have seen in the season 5 news. So I've gone through 2 teammates this year already, and we're just waiting for the ink to dry on the contract on my newest teammate, who is. Oh, I'm not going to tell you yet. But anyways, if you check out the graphic in season 5 news, you may have some ideas of what's going on. It's cool to get a bunch of feedback and stuff like that, a bunch of engagement generated on that. So I'm going to have a new teammate here. I'm hoping for Zandvoort. Sounds like things are going well in our negotiation process. We're just kind of locking in if they want the second year on the contract or not, and some numbers and some endorsement things like that. But Ferrari, we got a bunch of money. We're going to pay people that aren't even on our, people on our payroll that aren't even racing for us anymore. It's all good. We got money to spare.
You guys are like in that. You guys are like in that situation where teams are like the Milwaukee Bucks, where they're paying like 3 head coaches. Yeah, you guys are paying like 5 different drivers that aren't in the seat right now.
Exactly. Real, you still getting the checks? By the way, I didn't see.
keep them coming. We moved, but you guys got the new address down, so we're good.
All right, cool. I just wanted to make sure my homie's taken care of. All right, so that's that. Again, make sure to check out and see the graphics in there. They're pretty awesome. We did want to discuss, so team trading was approved for the off season. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can go over some of this stuff. My thought is I just have kind of my typical updates here for the league, and I can run through these, and then you can announce your C2 driver at the end if you'd like for these guys.
Do I want to announce the C2 driver?
Well, we told them, we put a post out that we would announce it on the podcast.
All right. Well,
so I'll do
that's fine. Yeah.
So just some housekeeping stuff. So you guys probably saw this if you're in the group, but I know some guys don't keep up on everything, and that's understandable. So just a couple things to fill you guys in on, and maybe some of the stuff we're working on behind the scenes. I like to do those kind of at the end. So first thing is team trading got approved. So in our league, you may not know this, but the team principals, the 10 team principals that we have picked out, they're not allowed to opt out of being a principal. Like if you are I'm the principal of Haas, I will stay the principal of Haas. And the only way for me not to be the principal of Haas is to finish in the bottom 5 of the standings, because any principal in the bottom 5 gets eliminated. Or if Haas were to finish last, then our team would get eliminated and I'd automatically become a free agent. So other than that, I'm staying a principal. Now, with the principals kind of being locked into that spot, and that's because we love them and they can help vote on things in the league, and they're very involved, and we appreciate that. The only way say, I'm going to have to stay a principal if I hate Haas's new livery, or, I want a different black car this year, or whatever it may be. In the off season, there will be a period, and we'll have this scheduled out, where you can trade teams. And so you'll see probably some rumors going on during the season about, different teams swapping. Just really, it's for aesthetics. It's what car you're going to be driving. That's really all it's for. However, this gets very interesting, because what we laid this out to be was clearly after a ghost in the morning. What we laid this out to be is that when you trade teams, because it's just kind of a 1-for-1 thing, you're open to throw anything in that trade that you desire. And it has to be approved through the league at the end just to make sure. I don't know what you guys could come up with, but just to make sure it's not going to like hinder the league. Like I think we're fine with pretty much anything, but we just want to make sure it makes sense. But literally, if I hit up Tyler and I was like, dude, I'll throw you $50 if you switch me and I can take Mercedes this year, that's fine. If I say I'll trade you Hayden for Jordan and I'll give you Haas and you give me Mercedes, approved. Like if they go for it, they go for it. It just gives us a little bit more of a silly season and to have fun in a way that I think still protects everybody pretty well and keeps everything fair. So that's a new thing now. So again, you'll probably see some rumors floating around during the season, but that's definitely an off-season thing. Nobody will be switching teams in the middle of the season or anything like that. So we're going to keep everything standard there. So the only other thing I do want to talk on really quick here, this is something we've just been discussing, and I'm really excited about. Like, I love this idea, and I hope it goes through. But we're talking about the idea of running a F2 league underneath our F1 league that we currently have in here. So this league, as when we started, it was all brand new guys to the game, brand new guys to F1. Honestly, I love having those kind of guys in the league. Like it just makes it fun. There's an element outside of F1 of just everybody like being friends and everything like this. So our idea is to try to continue to bring those people in and create an F2 league under our F1 league. We've talked about a ton of different things, as from them actually driving the F2 cars, whether they drive the F1 cars, whether they'd be paired with teams in our F1 league as like reserve drivers, the bottom 5 guys in our league getting to run with those guys, Matt doing commentary potentially. So we think what we're going to do is probably we're going to have like, we call them like a town hall where we all hop on a call and everybody can kind of pitch in ideas and just kind of talk these things out. So probably do something like that later in the season, maybe even the off season, but I would really love, my dream is to have 20 guys in the F2 league, 20 guys in the F1 league. And, the guy who wins F2 gets called up to F1 every year, but we'll talk about it. And I just want you guys to know that it's something we're thinking about and it's kind of on the docket. So.
Yeah, what I'll say about the F2 league while we're at it is I participated in our only other F2 league, I guess. It's our only other one. I participated in that, and it was a great tool to learn tracks, to learn whatever it is you want to learn, right? You can take as much as you want from there, and it also helps you with like some of those like pre-race jitters and nerves and stuff like that you definitely get, like I still get. You get that stuff kind of out of your system, or you find like a better way to manage it. And the F2 league's great for that. So I think it's a no-brainer to try it. It is difficult to figure out parameters and stuff like that, but it's something we'll work through as a group.
Yeah, I think of guys like Jordan, Brett, just our brand new guys to the league, and it's like that's perfect example of 2 guys that like are all in, they're having fun, they love the idea of this, they want to get better, they want to participate. But you know how it is, you show up on Wednesday and you see all these fast drivers around you and you're just like, I just don't want to mess up their race. And this is our one time throughout the week to try to do this. And, I lose a wing 5 laps in and it's over and it's not fun. So I think doing something like that, putting you with some level competition, allowing you to learn, allowing us to talk with you guys to maybe help you kind of get better and like learn some different things. Like that's what we want. It just makes it, gosh, that would be a lot of fun. So we just want to figure out the best way to do it.
Sounds good. Real and I can dust off our commentary skills. That sounds pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be a blast.
Yeah. So there's that. All right, boys, you got anything else before I wrap it up a little bit here?
Nope. I'm just ready to hear that other Ferrari driver.
Yeah, I'm ready to hear it as well.
All right. I will tell everyone the new Ferrari driver if David admits that Brock Purdy is the best quarterback playing in the Super Bowl.
He is.
I'm just kidding.
Absolutely.
He's the best Brock Purdy.
He is the 12th best player on his team. He is probably the 15th best player out of the stands.
That's fine. That's totally fine. Number 1 in your hearts. All right, guys. So anyways, before I announce the Ferrari driver, so thanks for making it this far. We're about 45 minutes in. I did want to have some fun with this, the Super Bowl predictions and score.
Oh, yeah.
And you all can participate as well if you'd like. And I'm going to go ahead and
this is going to come out Monday. We're dropping this Monday, so we're about to look stupid.
Oh, I am going to drop it Monday because I don't want to ruin the driver thing.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. Let's make predictions and let's just see
we
how
can do it now.
Yeah.
So everybody knows this, so they know we're not fucking lying or whatever. It is 9:49 p.m. on February 10th, 2024. Just so everybody knows what we're doing.
They're gonna know we're not lying after these predictions, dude.
That's definitely true. All right,
I got the Rams.
Brock Purdy 11 touchdowns. What do you got for the score then? Let's do team winner and score. And David, I'm gonna go for you first.
Okay.
So go ahead.
I am going to go with 49ers win. It's going to be a very close game. I'm going to go 49ers win. I'm thinking 35-28. Yeah, I know. I think it's 35-28. Mahomes gets a last drive, but can't. Tony drops it on the one, and the 49ers win.
All right.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so that's a good one. So 35-28 is your final, 49ers?
Yep.
Okay, real fire away.
So I am going to go with the 49ers as well to win. And the final score that I had written down is 27-16. So not as close, but
Nice.
yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm
Big
really
defense.
sorry, Keaton. You're going to fucking hate this, but I'm also going to choose the 49ers. And I had the score. So we do this thing. Actually, Mission Barbecue does a company thing, right? Where every teammate in the company gets to fill out a Google sheet and you put in the winner plus a score. And if someone chooses the correct results, they get a jersey of their choice of their favorite team. And then the whole restaurant that the winner, the person who guesses correct from, also receives a jersey, which is insane. That's super cool.
I
We
thought
do
you were
stuff
saying
that
like
as
a
a
side
company.
of fries. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. So I actually just locked our results in the executive suite, so I'll make sure those get pinned here as well. And again, sorry, Keaton. I understand it's
You
going
don't
to be a
have to
tough
say
day.
that we just all picked the 49ers. The Chiefs are going to win. He's
They're gonna
not. He's going to be
smash 'em.
he's going to be laughing when he listens to this.
42-7 Chiefs. Yeah.
He's cackling right now on his way to work.
Yeah, very good. At any rate, the only other thing I got on there is happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Make sure you go take your significant other out for something to tell them thanks for supporting us, letting us race and do stupid podcasts all the time. Definitely a good time to give back. I'll be hanging out in my simulator, of course, saying thank you in my simulator. As for Zandvoort, it is a roller coaster of a track. I'm sure we'll talk about it a bunch next week. I wanted to say I did go watch the race last night. I watched the actual F1 race from last night. And if you don't remember that one,
Shit show.
it was a complete nightmare. Everyone started off on like softs, one person on mediums, couldn't remember who, for the first lap. And then about 80% of the people came into pit for intermediates, and it was fucking pouring. There was yellow flags. There was a red flag with like 5 laps left at one point. It's a fun race though to watch. If you're interested in that kind of masochism, to watch a almost 3-hour long race because of the delays. But it's a fun one to watch.
That was the one that Red Bull won, right?
Yeah, the one that Red Bull won. That's right. Maybe Red Bull will win in our league this week. You never know.
Love it.
So, all right, cool. Well, at any rate, guys, you got anything else? I know I asked once, but anything else came to your mind in the last couple minutes here?
Nope, we're solid.
Cool, man. Well, I love doing this with you guys. I'm glad we got the band back together. At any rate, everybody, again, enjoy the Super Bowl. I hope you enjoyed it when you listen back to this. I'm going to tell you that. Should I tell him the guy now? Should I tell him who it is?
Spill the beans.
All right, man. Well, we're going to have a returning driver, and it is Fran Chewy is coming back. So guys, so yeah, Cam has agreed to come back. I'm super excited. What I'll say, I'll just touch on that, I guess, briefly. So I probably should have stuck that somewhere else, but I'll touch on it briefly while we got some time. If you guys don't know Cam raced with us for a little while last season. He was on Alpine with Kyle Spees, so great person to learn under. And Cam picked up a lot of points as the season went on. I think Cam kind of got into it more and more. Cam actually ended with 22 points last season, which was more than some people in the league, I'll say. I won't name any names. But if you want to go look at the historical stats, you certainly can do that in our channel. But at any rate, I'm excited to have Cam on my team. I think he'll be able to learn a bunch from me too, which is great. That's really what I wanted when I picked the driver up this year. So super excited to get Cam flown out here to Italy with me to start doing some pre-race stuff. And he's got 2 weeks to practice for Zandvoort. So what better time than now to make that change? So very cool. So excited to see Cam. Guys, we're going to wrap it up. Once again, enjoy the week off. Enjoy the Super Bowl. I hope your team wins. And I hope that everybody has a great Valentine's Day. We'll probably do another pod next week. I'm sure we will. And if I don't see you before then, we'll see you on the 21st in Zandvoort.
Beautiful.